I rode out, I was a kid with Betsy, Camille. We saw Katrina, Isaac, Rita.
Lights went out at like 2 o'clock, and this thing hammered us from 2 o'clock until about 10:15.
Days of waiting and watching. Questions raised about next steps, anxieties about safety concerns, holding on to family, to friends, and to peers. Anticipation and worry. Louisianans know this pre-hurricane pattern all too well. Waiting, watching. On August 29th, 2021 at 11:55 a.m., Hurricane Ida made landfall, bringing with it sustained winds of 150 miles per hour. A Category 4 storm, slamming into southeast Louisiana, taking out power for the entire city of New Orleans, driving rain and waves over Grand Isle and Thibodaux. Wind damage, flooding, carbon monoxide poisoning all threatened the communities of southeast Louisiana, from Port Sulphur to Houma to Morgan City and northward. Estimates indicated upward of $15 billion of damage from Hurricane Ida in Louisiana alone. On August 30th, 2021 at 8 a.m., the phones at LSMSA began to ring and the emails began to flood into administrative inboxes. Twice before, in her 35-plus year history, LSMSA had opened her halls and her classes to students displaced by hurricanes. And in the fall of 2021, with phones ringing and inboxes filling up, our alumni and our friends were asking, how can we help Southeast Louisiana? How can we get kids here who need a school? How can LSMSA serve those families? What are we going to do? On September 2nd, 2021, we opened an expedited admissions process for students and families impacted by Hurricane Ida. And we watched, and we waited. Within 3 days, students began to arrive on campus, some with only the luggage they'd evacuated with, some with concerns that their home schools might not reopen for months, some with fears that their homes may never be the same. Within a week, we had 32 new admits on campus from across the southern part of the state. Later this month, the last 9 remaining Ida Eagles will graduate. These Eagles navigated a new environment. Rather than having months, if not years, of looking forward to coming to LSMSA, some of them only had a few days' notice. They navigated starting classes already midstream, learning LLC policies, learning My LSMSA, learning the names of dozens of well-meaning adults who kept checking on them while their classroom and dorm peers reached out and welcomed them in. And then these Eagles began to soar. They began to sing, to dance, to act, to row, to code. They made their own paths here. They made LSMSA their home, and they began to lead. In the dorms and in the hallways, in Treen, in recital hall, and in the dance studio, in the science labs, in the math classrooms, in every single department on campus. They led on the fields of Slant and on the basketball court, as well as on Chaplin's Lake and on the Cane River. They led in student government. They led our alma mater. Despite their circumstances upon arrival, or perhaps because of it, they have become more themselves along the way, and they've become more us. Eagles are known to sky dance when they are establishing their territory and establishing their connections. These Eagles, our Ida Eagles, have demonstrated what it means to dance in so very, very many ways.